Welcome back, everyone. Sheepdog Smokey here, and this is one that just popped up on my feed today. But honestly, it's a, it's a really novel idea as a way to curb illegal immigration. You see, Donald Trump has been very open about his America First mentality. I'm honestly surprised that we have world leaders screaming that it's a horrible idea because that should be first and foremost in any leader's mind. I have just been elected or I've just been nominated or appointed to serve as the leader of this country. So this country comes first. It should be on everyone's mind. You want your country to flourish because that's where you live. If I lived in the UK, if I lived in Germany, if I lived in Sri Lanka, if I lived in Australia, Japan, Swaziland, it doesn't matter. I would want my country to flourish and do well, which means when it comes to economics, when it comes to immigration, when it comes to border security, when it comes to anything, our country comes first. The problem is that for decades we've had presidents and congressmen and senators that have lived on the mantra of we have to do everything for everyone else. And it's gotten us to where we are today. But you see, what President Obrador does not know is that he's dealing with a man that he can scream about all day long and he can insult all day long. It's only going to make him more determined to follow through on his promise. You see, President Trump announced Thursday evening that a 5% tariff will be imposed on all Mexican imports beginning June 10th and gradually increase until illegal immigration stops. Trump is spot on with this. Honestly, he is. Mexico could stop 99% of illegal immigration very, very fast. They can stop more than three-quarters of it by enforcing their own immigration laws at their own southern border. See, it wasn't that long ago that people crossing into Mexico from the south were jailed, some of them indefinitely. It wasn't very long ago where an American couple went to Mexico on their vacation legally, landed in Mexico, and the woman was arrested for narcotics charges because she had cough drops. When she was finally released, taken to the airport to fly home, they actually asked if she wanted to buy more of the very substance that they said was illegal because it was for sale 8 feet from them. But now, President Obrador says that doing this is horrible. It's a fallacy. And he attacks Trump because he says America is a nation of immigrants. Well, President Obrador, I would remind you, we are a nation of legal immigrants. My mother's family has been here for well over 400 years. We were among the first colonists. And in the 1770s, we were among the people very, very upset at the, frankly, very minimal tax that was imposed on the colonies that led to the Revolutionary War. We were part of the military in the War of 1812. We fought for the Union in the Civil War and have served in many other conflicts the world over through time. My father's family came here in I would say around 1870 and after. His mother's family came here first, settled in Texas eventually, and then his grandfather, his paternal grandfather, came in the very late 1870s from Germany as well, and settled in Texas. He came here legally, and he bought some land, and he started a farm, and he raised a family, and he became a productive member of society. So my family is filled with immigrants who immigrated legally. And before anyone starts and says, well, the colonists didn't immigrate legally because they didn't ask for permission, expansion in that time would be like my going out into the mountains of Colorado and building where there is no infrastructure, there is no sewer, no water, no power, no cell phones, no anything. Literally, it's just rocks and trees. It's going to be so long before anyone even knows I'm there that it's accepted as homesteading, basically. But you see, when the colonists showed up in the 1400s, they befriended the local natives. We traded with them. I will not be naive as to say there's never been anything that went wrong, that was done wrong, but we can't change anything in the past. If you've seen Endgame, you know that even if we tried, we'd fail. But you see, Mexico was settled the same way. Spaniards searching for El Dorado, the city of gold, and their guns, germs, and steel. Great book and video instruction series, by the way. Guns, Germs, and Steel. They, with a very minor force, were able to basically kill off enough of the native Maya and Inca to subjugate them to, you can't make us leave anymore, we live here. It was pure violent conquest. It was not arriving and befriending the natives and helping them learn to farm and grow while they helped us learn to do stuff and trading with them. It was literally Spaniards arriving and starting to kill anyone who did not obey them. So, that little history lesson aside, President Obrador, we're not stopping immigration. We want to stop illegal immigration. And quite frankly, President Obrador should want to do the same. Watch as thousands of people traverse through your country, bringing God only knows what diseases. How many of them are criminals? We know we have found terrorists, MS-13 members, people who have been deported from this country for committing violent crimes, some of them deported multiple times. So we know that this is not a caravan of women and children just fleeing persecution. This is a caravan of people who are marching towards a sovereign state's borders and demanding that laws not apply to them. And that's, quite frankly, stupid. The people of Mexico should be able to rise up and demand Obrador enforce their own laws to protect them. Unfortunately, Obrador is backed by the cartels and the rest, because how else would you win in a country where the cartels and the other criminals run the country? But unlike Obama, George Bush, Clinton, George H.W. Bush, unlike the 4 presidents before him, Donald Trump actually will do what he said. June 10th, if Mexico is not actually doing all they can to stop illegal immigration, then we will impose a 5% tariff. And yes, it will at first mean that for certain things, Americans are paying more. In some cases, it will mean Americans don't buy things so that certain products just no longer show up in your store. Avocados, for example, to quote the just hand-wringing article about what a trade war with Mexico would mean, or what the wall would mean. Honestly, I could live the rest of my life, never see another avocado again, and be perfectly happy, even though I like guacamole as much as the next person. But you see, we can grow avocados in California and in other places. And if we all of a sudden are not importing them from Mexico, those farms are going to increase and increase and increase. And our people will do well. Yes, there are some automakers that are going to face a little bit of an issue, but just like what happened in 2017, they're going to come home. Ultimately, yes, we're going to have a short time where we're paying a little more for certain products and so on and so forth, but it will not last very long, and it will hurt Mexico worlds more than it will hurt us, and President Obrador will either hunker down and say, I can wait out Donald Trump and he'll be proven wrong, or he'll step up and say, fine, take away the tariff and I'll stop the illegals. It's going to be interesting to see which way he goes, considering this is a man who would not say the word illegal immigrants. He, every time, I'll say it was Hannity, or someone, while speaking to him, said illegal immigrants, he would literally say, no, they're migrants, and that's not true. They are illegal immigrants. And until we can basically just force the reconnection of the tiny brain and get them to admit crossing a border you have no right to cross is a criminal act unless you are an illegal immigrant, we're going to have to wait this out. And like I said, avocados, I can live without them. I can live without a lot of things. And if it means our country is more secure, I'm happy to do so. But let me know what you think. Just remember, keep the comments civil. We do not learn from argument, we learn from debate. As always, remember to like and share the video, as well as to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you're among the first to know of all new content as it is posted. Until next time, everyone, have a wonderful day.